Desperate exploitation of reputation backfires. Meghan was caught red-handed, causing embarrassment once again. Welcome to the Royal Fantasy YouTube channel. According to the latest news, VIP guests shocked as Meghan hires professional camera crew to steal the spotlight. At NY event, I realize organizations want to make dollars, but they need to wise up to these two. The antics of Meghan Markle and Harry are well known, and their own need for mental health care as well. Organizations need to do better vetting despite the need for money. Any bookings attached to their name should be denied. I can't imagine worse individuals who qualify to talk about mental health, children, and social media than Meghan Markle and Harry. And 7 SUVs to make her really important. Are you surprised? How much did this cost the city, I ask? And how much did this cost the organizers? And the most important question is, why were they invited? Don't complain, though, if you encourage them by inviting them and paying them, because they don't do anything for nothing. I do hope taxpayers' money was not used. These various events and charities that keep having the dimwits as guest speakers have no one to blame but themselves. They know how the two vile traitors act, so a simple answer: stop inviting them, or if they show up uninvited, get security to throw them out. They should be treated as psychiatric patients. The doctor of psychology should be controlling the narrative here. This has always been the way of things, but this pair of dimwits have zero respect for professional ethics and think their voice as ignorant royal dropouts is more important to an audience than a panel of experienced psychotherapists who studied and worked with mentally ill patients for years. Among the many ironies of this situation, there sat the preeminent U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy. He is a Harvard-trained doctor of internal medicine who would certainly have much experience with the human psyche. He had to sit there and listen to the patently crazy couple's utter total absurdities. And he probably couldn't get a word in edgewise. There sits glum Harry, looking down, silent, an empty puppet on a shelf waiting to be taken down for a brief stint. Meanwhile, Markle babbles on at rapid-fire pace, throwing meaningless words around that, in the end, says nothing. As she prattles endlessly on without seemingly taking a single breath, the ears ache for a break, and the nerves frazzle with the non-stop empty noise. That first video was the most nauseating, cringe-worthy piece of garbage to come out of her vile mouth yet. Sacrifice? What? Her struggling non-career? She didn't sacrifice Suits. They had been wanting to get rid of her for several years, so they dumped her. The outcry from fellow actors and staff was getting louder to get rid of her. She had been written out of the script, and nobody was in the market for a talentless, narcissistic, demanding woman who berated everybody from co-stars to directors and writers. Her career was dead in the water with nobody wanting her, and they still don't, because she is universally detested. The royal family and snagging a dim prince was her only ace in the hole. Sacrificed privacy? You've got to be kidding. You mean the woman who called the Paps repeatedly to let them know where and when she would be and where to stand to get the best shots? One on a good day, 2 or 3 might show up. Making false claims of supposed stalkers trying to break into wherever she happened to be, presumably to get to this completely unknown D-list, insignificant, disposable, cable show actress in a foreign country. Sacrifice her friends? What friends? The current ones lined up to be unceremoniously ghosted as soon as she was done using them? Her yacht whore prostitute friends? The old men and cheaters she pleasured below deck for entire weekends for money? The Saudi Arabians who provided her with blood earrings and a tour of the town for her entertainment aboard their men-only week-long yacht party? Long weekends as a working girl in the back rooms of Soho House? Are those the friends she sacrificed? Sacrifice her living quarters? Do you mean that cramped little dingy apartment she called home that she rented with what appears to be a crumbling staircase with an alley entrance? Sacrificed freedom? Do you mean she actually had to learn some manners instead of her foul-mouthed, low-class street girl behavior? She had to be helped out of the gutter where she lived and enter a society that would teach her the meaning of refinement and sought to work a miracle in transforming a slut into a lady? It didn't work. You can drag a slut out of the gutter, but you can't get the gutter out of the slut, no matter how many titles you plaster on her. Sacrifice her freedom of control and speech? You mean the way she wants the entire world to be under her tyrannical rule and oppressive control of speech? Freedom to rip a foul-mouthed tirade against loyal staff, foreign hosts, and wives of dignitaries, with then-pal Jessica Mulroney smirking by her side? Freedom to mercilessly bully staff and children alike? Freedom to verbally abuse designers, children, and waitstaff wherever she goes, no matter what, where, or who. Freedom to loudly make ungrateful, relentless demands and snide, rude, condescending remarks to and towards her hosts and their staff? Sacrifice her freedom to come and go as she pleased? Do you mean like to wander into secure areas of the Queen's palace, taking unauthorized and prohibited pictures of private rooms, standing creepily, camera in hand, over sleeping children, and making maps of the inside layout of the palace, including where the jewels are kept? Freedom to rummage through the trunk boot of Harry's car before being chased away by his now ghosted friends? Freedom to meet with Oprah and press journalists on the sly and make devious plans to leave the UK and secretly set up a branding of the royal titulars to make money upon leaving? Freedom to meet and mingle with people the rest of the world can only dream of meeting? Freedom to travel, all expenses paid, around the world staying in the best each country had to offer? Freedom to come and go on private jets while the future king and queen were taking commercial jets? Freedom to live a hypocritical life, demanding everybody to do the things she openly refused, and still does, to comply with? Wow, the sacrifice brings tears to my eyes. One acrylic tear to the left eye. I tried to take in what she was saying, tried to cogitate it, but a good chunk of what she said came across as gobbledygook. She was just making a noise in front of that mic. Well, she is looking for a purpose, isn't she? Some kind of a steady, passive income stream for little effort on her part. I think they're looking for an edifice gargoyle for the balcony parapet of Oldbuck House. If she is accepted, she'll have finally made it to the balcony, horse teeth and all. Otherwise, she could always be a ticket checker for the tourists buying tickets for tours during the summer months. It's only for 2 or 3 months of the year, right up lazy ass's poop chute, wouldn't you agree? And she can be as rude and surly to them as much as she wants. In fact, the tourists will pay tops if they can be rude and insulting to her right back, even more so when they buy tickets from the cream pie booth on the palace lawn to, yes, you guessed it, cream pie her in the face. Well, it's attention, isn't it? And she always wants to glow up. What better than to do it with whipped cream and banana or coconut pie filling? She gets to lick herself clean. She gets to groom her strands into a creamy, gleaming, raven-haired olive oil bun. Now that should get her sidekick, Wimpy, to gladly pay her Tuesday for a hair bun today in shorts shorter than what she wore at Evictus. Whatever the Malark wants, the Malark gets, don't you know? Truly, she won't believe she's getting paid for this. Thank you, Princess Maladjusted, for keeping us entertained with your comedy routine. You should do Drown Me by the Lake. It will be a raspberry-winning performance, I'm sure. And you? What do you think about Meghan and Harry? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. Don't be afraid to like and share my video with anyone who also like it anytime you want. And please subscribe to the Royal Fantasy channel to get more news in the future. Now, thank you for watching. Goodbye, and see you tomorrow.